Welcome, Art, to Puro Pinche Sports. I'm your host, Jose Garza. Tonight alongside me is Arturo Ibarra. What's going on, brother?
Trying to eat some cereal like sick this week.
Oh, you disgust me in every possible way. Yeah.
Nah, the Cowboys are feeding that, man.
Well, they have to. Otherwise, Dak's going to get tired and he's going to throw out his arm, throwing freaking 50 passes a game. That's not good. But anyways, bro, football is still here. We had Legot versus Legot coach. And we didn't even have an episode last week, so we didn't get to talk about how Marco and his beloved Chiefs are under 500 at the time, and they were last in the division at the time, and now they're 500 again. And we didn't get to talk about Alex versus Marco and their whole beef between the Bears and Los Chiefs bandwagon fandom, according as Alex would say it. Any thoughts on the chaos that we had last week as far as week 3 or the results of it?
I mean, I did call the upset. That's what happens. Dang, and he's happy about that too. He's
Son,
like, "Yep,
chill. No time for that." All right, yeah, go on.
No, but I did tell you the Chiefs were going to lose last week, and we did call it out. We made that episode. I chimed in. I typed in my
responses.
Who I thought, my responses on who I thought was going to win it, and he laughed. But you know, I think we kind of see that a lot whenever some people call other people out. It's just karma. I know it's all fun and games, but
it's fun and games. It's
the Chiefs are still at the end.
Regardless of right now between the Chargers and Raiders, absolutely.
Yeah, so I believe you said the Chargers. Are you having the Chargers or the Raiders win right now?
And I didn't get my predictions for this week, but I have the Chargers winning today. I like the Chargers overall as a better team, and I think they'll break the winning streak of the Raiders. But you never know. LA is really a Raider town, so what do I know?
I mean, well, right now that's what they're. I mean, it's 7-0, so we'll see. We'll see how this game pans out. But
for real,
overall, man, if you want me to chime in on the Bears, man, hey, I told you. You know my thoughts about it. Yes, they drafted a great quarterback. The organization sucks. Nagy needs to go. Hey, they had a great game this past weekend, but still, he needs to go.
Nagy needs to go.
He filled the hot seat, so he needs to go.
All right. Any big thoughts besides that? Like I said, we didn't get to talk about week 3 that much. Nagy had to go then. Nagy still has to go, regardless of Chicago won. You have any other thoughts from week 3 that you want to skim through real quick before we head on to week 4?
I mean, it was a crazy week for a lot of the teams. You know, we had a lot of upsets. I actually have a bet going on.
The Ravens 66 field goal kick. Jesus.
Yeah. Right now I have a bet going on with one of my cousins. You know, I called him out. I said the Steelers were not going to make it to the playoffs. So
yeah, I don't think so either.
So right now, I'm getting a new stitched-in jersey, and he's not.
There you go. So, I mean, real quick, I mean, what's the highlights from week 3? I mean, like I said, freaking 66-yard field goal kick for a miracle win for the Ravens. A fantastic 109 field goal return, missed field goal return for the Jaguars, but they still end up losing to the Cardinals, who are still undefeated as of today. The Rams defeat the Buccaneers and, sent them with an L all the way till New England, which we saw what happened there, which we'll talk about in just a bit. Packers with, of course, too much time left on the clock. It's just Aaron Rodgers. Niners did not have enough, and what a fantastic game that was. And Vikings beating Seahawks, putting them at 1-2 at the time, and now their Seahawks are 2-2. Vikings tough team to beat, but they're beating themselves, honestly. All right, so moving on to week 4, Art. I'm gonna do the same thing I did with Marco last time on the episode. Basically, we'll just start from first game of the week, and then we'll just go back and forth. So, I'll kick it off because it's just a shitty game, and I don't want to put that on your shoulders. Bengals and Jaguars. Now, it wasn't a shitty game. Actually, it was pretty fun in the second half. First half was kind of like, I can't believe the Jaguars are winning. They're taking control of it. And then the Bengals just showed out that they're just a better team right now. They're being coached really well. Joe Burrow somehow has Trevor Lawrence's number, which I think a lot of people didn't believe that. They didn't believe it in college, even though Joe beat him. They didn't believe it last Thursday when Joe beat him. So Urban Meyer has probably got to go, but he's too busy hanging out with college girls right now. Anywho, let's go. Art, give me Washington beating Falcons 34-30.
I mean, it was a good game. It was a shootout. It was a disappointing game on both of the defenses. It wasn't anything but offense. Cordell Patterson with the 3 touchdowns. It's it sucked, man. I have them both my lineups. I switched them at the last minute, tried to switch them back up. Yeah, would have blown you out of the water and blown my competition out of the water. But
I tell you, bro, every year
it cracks me up that he had to make it to the Falcons to be able to prove what he's doing. Though he was with the Vikings, he was with the Bears, and no other team has used him the way that he should be used. And maybe it's just the game calling from the Falcons. I know they're hurting everywhere, but the fact that Patterson's making more catches and more runs than Calvin Ridley, Kyle Pitts, and Mike Davis.
Why you gotta say that? Bro? That hurts me because I'm a Calvin Ridley.
That's the offense. Right now, the offense is going through Patterson, which is crazy. So they're using him in the run. They're using him in the wide receiver, wildcat, everything, man. So I'm surprised. Actually, I'm not surprised. Actually, it's the Falcons.
I told you this, man. Like, I didn't think Washington's defense was that big. They didn't win that many games. Like, they just won enough to win the division. They weren't that impressive. That's why I didn't believe the hype. Anyway, we'll move on. Bills, Texans, 40-0. I mean, Jesus. I mean, Texans.
Sad game.
It's exactly what I thought the Texans season would be. Bills just running the AFC right now. Let's just be honest. I mean, but again, they're supposed to do that, right? Like, that's supposed to happen. This should be no surprise. Josh Allen should be wrecking defenses like this.
There's no way for him to get an interception like that, though.
You agree with me on that? He fumbled too. Like, that's just ugly. Like, there's just no reason for the mistakes he's making. Now, overall, the team's doing better on defense. They're making sure the run game's going on with Singletary and Moss. So they got it going on right now, but we'll see how it goes. Real test is when they play the Chiefs Sunday Night Football this week 5. That will be a real test for them.
And that's something that we've seen with a lot of the teams, and I know we're going to get to it and talk about it, but we've seen the Bengals. Who have they gone against that are like a good offense or defense against? The Broncos, same thing. They were 3-0. The Titans, like, come on, like we both said at the Titans were going to be going up there. And
let's not skip through everybody else right now. Let's move on to the next one. I'll give you that one. Hold on. Actually, no, this one we gotta go first. The Bears defeating the Lions 24-14.
I mean, like I said, Nagy was in the hot seat. They needed to use their weapons in the way they needed to do. They needed to give Justin Fields an opportunity to do what he should have been doing the game against the Browns. So just because, they beat the Lions, hey, like, the Lions have been putting up points against some really good teams till the last minute. So they did it against the Packers. They did it against the San Francisco.
The Packers, they played one half. Against San Francisco, they played the second half. So they didn't finally get it all together in just one game. And then the Lions could actually look really good. As much as they lose, and there's no moral victory in anything in football or basketball or whatever, you're doing really well. And I feel like the Lions are having an upside, even though they're winless.
Oh, no, yeah. Like, I think they're a better team than some of the other, and we've agreed on that. The North Division the NFC is a hard division to play in. Yep. So the Lions, I didn't see the Lions put up too much of a fight yet again. I know the Bears have had a good defense so far to show off. They were losing the game a little bit, and they had to get, like, slapped back again into it. Sorry about Montgomery, like a knee injury. That sucks. But, hey, I'm happy the Bears won.
Yeah. That's the more important thing.
They're good, but I still think Nagy needs to get fired. I don't think this win says, "Oh, you're in the safe zone." No, they're still not using Fields the way that he should be. They're not using Robinson the way that he should be used.
Now we need him to start passing over 150 yards.
Right.
So. We're still stuck at 60 or 120. Something's still wrong going on there. Okay, like he made a nice, beautiful pass yesterday that connected. Was it Mooney?
It was Mooney.
It was Mooney, right? It was just a perfect pass, and it's just like, bro, like this kid can play. Like, there's a reason why Ohio State was big on him, and they played him, and he got them as far as they did. You got to show respect, and you got a game plan around him. That's it. I got Cowboys versus Panthers, 36-28. I'll tell you what, the Panthers, they're real.
That's the upset. That's one of the teams that has been upsetting a lot of people. And I'm like, I did not expect that from the Panthers.
The Panthers, they went in this game hurt. No Christian McCaffrey, no JC Horn, and they still put up 28 points in the Cowboys. I'm sure some of those points were at the end where it didn't matter because the Cowboys were already blown out. But that don't matter, bro. Like the Panthers are a threat. Like they gave it tough at first for like the Cowboys for a good while. But eventually the Cowboys just being the better offensive team, the better offensive weapons that they have, it's just too much. Cowboys is becoming a real conference title threat right now. I'm not saying they're going to make it to the conference championship. There's still a long way to go. But they are definitely a top 3-4 in the NFC right now. And
I think they're going to win their division, though. For sure, they're going to win their division.
I called it. I said that. That's exactly. I said y'all were saying Washington or Giants at one point. No one said Philly. No one's ever going to freaking like be stupid and say Philly. But I said Cowboys are going to win the division, and they're proving me right. Now, oddly enough, I mean, they could. Some Cowboys fans are like, they say, "Oh, well, we could be 4-0." Well, I was like, no. You could also be 2-2 because you could have lost the Chargers very easily. So let's not get it twisted. All right. Give me Colts, Dolphins, 27-17.
It was an all right game. It was up and down. It was like coming back and trying to.
Your Giants side pretty much gives us what you really thought about the game.
I mean, it's not an exciting matchup to watch.
It's not a sexy game. Carson Wentz versus Jacoby Brissett.
No, and the Dolphins still, it's not their quarterback. Yeah. I mean, yes, it has some play to it, but it's their defense. It's like all over the place.
Might as well be the quarterback to it own show.
True. But the Colts have the weapons, and they're not using them the way they're supposed to.
No.
I know they fed Jonathan Taylor and Naeem Hines and everything, but still, like
they have the weapons, but they have Wentz. Wentz is holding them back. I mean, remember Phillip Rivers was there last year, and he got them to the playoffs, and he got them 11-5. And people were like, "Oh, we got Carson Wentz, a former Super Bowl champion. 2017 is coming back."
Nah. The Bears have Nick Foles, the Super Bowl champion too. Look what that's gone.
Super Bowl MVP. Got that right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I got Browns and Vikings. Oh, damn.
That was a good game. That was a defense game.
That was a defensive battle, keeping it strong. We get sure the offense didn't go. And that's tough to do. When you got Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook on one side, and then you got Baker, which is, of course, he's not elite. He's average, But you got Odell, you got Chubb, you got Kareem Hunt.
They held Chubb and Hunt down, dude. That's crazy. I've never seen the Vikings do that.
And that's what I'm saying. The Vikings are gritty. Like, that's why I had them as high as I did with the wins, because they're a gritty team, even though they beat themselves. That's what Minnesota is. They're a team that can be really good, but beat themselves every time. And it's either the kicker, it's either the quarterback, it's something, but it's always something. But that's a gritty team. Give me this one. Giants, Saints, 27-21 in the Superdome. Talk to me, Art.
What is that? That I'm gonna be sucking wings. Whatever, dude. That's stupid. The Saints need a quarterback. They need a quarterback, man. Like the Saints need it. The Giants have they have an all right quarterback, but they didn't have their weapons. They didn't have Sterling Shepard they didn't have.
What is going on with the Saints, really? Because honestly, like, they get these blowout wins against the Packers, against the Patriots, and then they come in the next week looking like ass. Seriously, like, you get demolished by the Panthers. Like, okay, I can see that. It's the Panthers. But then you get not demolished, but you get beat by the Giants at home. Your return to New Orleans. This is what you do? You put up this performance? And I had
without their weapons.
And fuck that. I had little Saints, little crybabies on freaking Twitter, like crying. It's like they didn't let him in. They forced a field goal. Big head. What? That's your comeback, big head. And I texted him after the game. Hey, buddy. Doesn't look like the Giants settled for a field goal, huh? Jackass. Anyways, but yeah, that was just silly. The Giants finally get their first win. That's funny. I didn't think they would win. I thought the Saints would, but hey, you know what? I don't have the Saints in the playoffs, so they gotta lose some of these games. All right, I'm gonna
take one.
Jets Titans 27-24. I got that one. All right, the Jets
disappointment
showed up. Titans did not. I don't give a fuck if you don't have AJ Brown. I don't give a fuck if you don't got Julio Jones. You should be running through the Jets. We're talking about the Jets. Jets, Jets. No, you should be running through them. You are the Titans. You have, I don't give a damn how bad your O-line is. Your O-line should be suffering to Jets defense. You have Derrick Henry. The man puts up 157 yards and you still lose? Sir? The man should have been running every touchdown for you, everything. You got some weapons. But, man, you let Corey Davis get his revenge in this game. You let Zach Wilson ball for once. Like, he finally showed up. You let Crowder showed up. I still don't know where Elijah Moore is. I like
Corey Davis.
That's what I'm saying. That's what Corey Davis got his revenge game. That this was his revenge game. And
nah, man, it was a disappointment. And I mean, I was happy because I was playing against you. You have Henry, so I was like, yes, don't let him run. But they did let him run, and they still lost. So to me, it was like, okay, you're third and goal.
No.
And you're using the pass to whomever you want.
Art,
you have King Henry there to just pass him the ball and just run it in. They didn't do that once nor twice. They had like 3 opportunities to do that, and they fucked it up. They just settled for the kick.
Art, they settled for a field goal kick to try to tie the game, and Karma came back and bit them in the butt, and they missed it.
Yep.
They missed the kick. It went left, and they lost. And the Jets fans went happy, rejoicing that a team that I thought could go to the Super Bowl is no longer in that conversation for me. And
no, honestly, I'm 100% with you on that.
And honestly, if it wasn't for the shitty Colts way they're playing, if it wasn't for Deshaun Watson sitting out the Texans, I don't even think they win that division. But they're in the worst division as it can be right now. They're playing terrible, even though they're the best weapons.
They should be dominating that.
They shouldn't be losing to the Jets. I say that to about any team. And I'll say that to my Patriots if they lose in week 7 in the rematch. But I nobody should be losing to the Jets. I know Cowboys lost to them like a year or two ago. Now Titans lost to them. It's just like, no, nobody should be losing to the Jets. Nobody, absolutely nobody. Not even Clemson, not Alabama, not Ohio State, Notre Dame, whatever. All right. Give me Chiefs, Eagles, 42-30.
The Chiefs defense sucks.
Yeah,
they are a joke. And
right.
I'm sorry to a Chiefs fan. Like, I'm not saying they're not a good team. They have a great offense. They're the best offense in the NFL. They use Clyde Edwards the way they should be. They couldn't target Kelsey that much. Hill with his touchdowns, like, hey, they're great. But their offense is great. Their defense sucks. And we've seen that in the Super Bowl. It doesn't matter what kind of offense you have. And I told you this. And this is why I don't have the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl. And Loki, I don't even have them going to make it to the division champ. Why? Because you need the defense and you need the offense to win a game. You need to stop the game in defense. You need to run the ball instead of just throwing the ball and scoring. Like, it's not about scoring. We saw that with the Browns and the Vikings. It was a great game of defense and offense. Hey, they stopped the offense. But I assure you, if the Browns play the Chiefs again, the Browns can and they should win that game against the Chiefs. Just like they should have won the first game, they should win the second one. Why? Because the defense for the Chiefs is a joke.
It's crazy enough to think that the Chiefs could really be 1-3 right now. They really should be. They really should. But that's not the case. All right. I got Cardinals Rams 37-20. My gosh. My gosh. The Rams just came off the big win over the Buccaneers. And wow, they laid an egg. When I really laid an egg, Cardinals defense just showed up. Let's be honest. Cardinals defense showed up, but they held Matthew Stafford.
Do you think the Cardinals are the best? So there was a conversation in many podcasts saying that the Rams were the best. They could be the best team in the NFL, both defense and offensive. Do you think the Cardinals take that now?
This really depends on Kyler Murray, because I think as fantastic as the team is assembled, which you got Chandler Jones, J.J. Watt, Patrick Peterson on the defensive side, and then you got DeAndre Hopkins, Rondell Moore, AJ Green's having a freaking resurgence year for himself. Chase Edmonds is still having a good year, even and James Conner.
James Conner, 4 touchdowns so far.
Like,
4 touchdowns,
bro. Like we're talking about a team that is a real threat in the NFC. Will I call them the best team in the NFC right now? No, I don't think so. Teams can start hot and they can be bad. I wasn't gonna say the Rams is even the best team in the NFC. It's a jungle. Like if I have to list 4 teams that I see in the NFC Championship bubble, those 2 are in it. Bucks and Cowboys are the other 2, and I think that's nobody is better than the other. I think they're all really close to each other. Yes, we saw Rams blow out Bucks, but now you see Cardinals blow out Rams. I mean, and I don't forget if the Cardinals play the Bucks later. If they don't, then good for the Bucks, because they probably, I don't know how they do, but because their secondary is just getting wrecked, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But I don't know if the Cardinals are the best team yet. I want to see them play a little more against these tough teams, and they're right there. They're right there. But it's also going to be on Coach Cliff Kingsbury. I just don't know if I got them fully there just yet, but they're close. Art, give me Seahawks 28-21 against the 49ers.
That was an interesting game. I have a feeling, and this is just me projecting, if the 49ers would have started Trey Lance from the beginning, I think they would have beat the Seahawks. Russell is not the Russell. Yes, he made that touchdown. He ran it in. But the Seahawks is just another team that I know we talked about. And you're like, oh, they're going to make it. I'm just like, they're just not there. Like it's like they're not working together with what Russell can do. They're not using Russell in the way that they should do. And that was one of the points that I was going to make about the Rams and the Cardinals.
Do you think it has to do with the offseason beef he had with the Pete Carroll and the Seahawks organization? Do you think maybe this is his game plan?
It's the same thing as the Packers, man. Like that first game, they should not have lost against the Saints. But it's all that beef that they had, and it's coming into the game. It's getting into their heads. And that's literally why the Packers lost the game, because they're a solid team. With the Seahawks, man, they have DK, they have Lockett, they have Disley, they have Carson, and then you have Russell. You can't run the ball, and you can't throw the ball. Like
at O-line,
what are you doing? And it's sad because, like, you know what? Yes, we all took the Seahawks out, but this is why I took them out.
You did. I didn't take him out.
Alex did.
Yeah, and Alex picked Saquon to be in his first overall pick in fantasy football, and we see how his 0-4 butt is doing. Okay, I don't care. I love Alex.
It's mainly because he did draft out. Oh, Waller's hurt.
Yeah, Waller was limping. But
sorry, man, we're watching the game at the same time. Hey, we have to.
I mean, my kid is staring right at me. He's staring at my soul. What's up? What's up, Way?
No, but the Seahawks. Yeah, I do agree with you. It may be part of it has to do with how all that drama that was before the season.
I still have them going to the playoffs. It's just, first of all, look at the rest of the league. Except for the Panthers, no one in the NFC is really sniffing like they're going to be a threat to the playoffs. Now, Washington and that lackluster defense that I told you, Kevin and Lewis, when we had draft night for fantasy, I told you guys, I don't trust Washington. And I said it earlier in this podcast too. I don't trust them. I don't trust Chicago or Vikings, and that has to do with more one for play calling for Vikings and organizational decisions by Bears. And then the Saints, you got Jameis Winston. That man's never made the playoffs, I think. All right, maybe he has, and nobody remembers because nobody cares. 30 for 30. Anywho, yeah, but I mean, talk about Trey Lance's debut night though. Like for him to have like a good night, no moral victories, but he looks really good. So in the future, Jimmy G's an injury plague. I mean, they're in good hands if he goes down for the season again. I'm just saying they're in good hands. What, by the way, what a fucking wide open pass to freaking Deebo Samuel. Fucking Adams lost him. Adams lost him. He just didn't know what the fuck happened. He thought he was passing him off to someone else. Anywho, is it me or you? I think I got this one right. Ravens, Broncos, 23-7. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you really want to talk about contenders versus pretenders, well, the freaking Broncos just showed you some pretending. And some of it had to do with Teddy Bridgewater going down, but is that really a good excuse? Because the Ravens have like half their roster out with IR and shit, and they're picking up guys from high school at this point. Lamar wasn't too impressive, but at the same time, he didn't disappoint. Still putting up 23 points, leading that team getting there. It is what it is. Broncos, Drew Lock, there's a reason why you got benched, bro. Why don't you go and take off your COVID tag or whatever the fuck you got to do and go sneak out again, do whatever dumb shit you got to do because you don't believe in COVID, you stupid fuck. Anywho, Art, give me Packers 27-17 over the Steelers.
It was also another game that I'm like, hey, no, you know what? That first play off the game of the Steelers with that first touchdown to Deontay Johnson, hey, that was a great throw. Why don't you do more of that? I think that summarizes the whole game. Why don't you do more of that?
Because he's old Ben. He can't do it. He can't do it all game.
You have Deontay. I know Juju's not the Juju that we expect. Claypool wasn't there. But, okay, you have those three weapons that one of them has to get open at any time of the game, any time of any game.
I'm just trying to about my son. Sorry. I'm listening to you, though.
You're telling me that you can't do that more often? You can't throw the ball deep when one of those guys is open? Like, come on. Now, they did stop the run from the Packers, but they can't stop Devontae. They stopped Devontae one quarter.
You couldn't stop Randall Cobb.
You got Cobb. So either way, you were like, all right, who am I going to take care of? Like, you couldn't. And
bro,
the Packers were pushing it.
Not having having TJ Watt's not enough. Minka Fitzpatrick is not enough. And you have a quarterback that can't get you down the field to really help you. Najee Harris is good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Juju, I hope you're not on TikTok no more. I don't know. Whatever, dude. Like, it's not good for you. 1-3 is not what you're supposed to be. The anomaly of their first victory over the Bills shows you how much of a fluke that was. The same as the Saints beating the Packers.
Yep.
All fluke wins. It happens sometimes, but this is clearly a fluke. All right, and the last game to talk about for Week 4, Art, Buccaneers, Patriots, Tom Brady, Bill Belichick. Say I was a wreck would be an understatement. Holy moly, I was conflicted. I didn't know what to feel. On one hand, I love Tom Brady because he did so much for the Patriots and 6 championships, and then he goes on to win 1 with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah, Coach Belichick, greatest mind in football. Arguably, he's got 8 rings overall, 2 with the Giants as a defensive coordinator, but just the battle. I mean, yes, I know people probably were bored because of a chess match. Tom Brady was missing some easy throws that he should have connected with Antonio Brown. Mac Jones showed out. 19 straight completions in the second half. That drive for the touchdown where he just threw 7 passes. He went 7 for 7 for 76 yards. Just, beautiful connection with Jonas Smith at the end. It was for me a real battle. I know you told me at one point you had to turn off the TV because you're just like, it's whatever. But for me, it's a chess match. This is what I'm used to as a Patriots fan. You're watching these guys work, and to work against each other now is very different, very odd. I wore my Brady Patriots jersey. because I love the guy, but I love my team. So the second the game started, boo Brady. When he got sacked by freaking Matt Judon, I loved it. I cheered. I got up and I fucking raised my fist and I just threw it out there. And my kids started crying like, "No, Daddy, don't betray him, no!" Like in tears. And I was just like, "Fuck yeah, let's go!" Now, unfortunately, that was the only sack for the Patriots. And then Mac Jones got sacked 4 fucking times. But I knew for a fact because when the commentators were like, "Oh, Mac Jones will have an easy day because the Buccaneers haven't sacked nobody." Okay, well, he's going to get sacked at least a minimum of 3 times now. Now he's going to get sacked a minimum of 3 times. He got sacked 4 times. Overall, though, I think in the end, it ended up being perfect. It was 19-17. It didn't get to the 20s. It wasn't high scoring. Like there wasn't a bloodbath, as some people would call it in podcasts or freaking ESPN shows or whatever. It was the greatest mind on the field versus the greatest mind off the field. And they clashed. And honestly, that 4th and 3rd decision to not go for it, I was against it. I didn't think Nick Folk could make that kick. One, he was hurt going into the game. Second, the conditions were not in his favor. And I think they should have gone 4th and 3rd. I think he could have made that. I think Mac Jones could have done something. I truly believe it. And if he doesn't, at least you went on your shield. At least you tried it. Because a 56-yarder, man, he's made it one time, I think, in his career, and it's just I'm not feeling Folk on that. But I think it was a great game, and I'm glad if Brady and Belichick after the game they got to talk about it, they get to hash things out. And I'm gonna buy that book, which says they're gonna talk about their history from Seth Wickersham from ESPN. I'm gonna buy that book. I'm gonna definitely look into that. But damn, your thoughts on that game?
Oh, I was trying to.
Oh, you gotta do it. You gotta do it right. You gotta bring the camera to you.
Nah, dude, that was
Bro, you see why Belichick doesn't show personality? Because there's some shit we just don't want to know about. There's just some shit. And the fact that his son, Steve, is just like.
And it was like they would just like show the camera and it's like he would do it on purpose.
It's like they focus on him, knowing that he's going to do something.
Like he would do something.
And they just got it like.
Ooh. He lost it.
It's disgusting. Oh, you're watching the game? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Touchdown? No? Okay.
No. Close.
Okay.
Justin Jackson. But no, it was I mean, I stopped watching it like halfway in the game just because it was too slow for me in the sense of like it was kind of going forth, back and forth. So I was like, all right, I need to like let it go into the second quarter. I'd start in the second half and see how it goes. I saw it whenever they scored. But it was a good game. It was an entertaining game. There was a lot of history going on with
there was a lot of emotions.
Passing that yard, passing Drew Brees for the record.
It's an emotional one.
It was a good game, and Belichick said that he was going to get into Brady's head, and he did. The first 3 quarters of that game, he got into his head, and
who knows him best?
Not help. No, of course. Who did he play with the most? That's him. He knows what Brady does. He knows how to stop Brady. He knows what throws Brady off, and he did. But Brady said, "You know what? I'm gonna overcome that. I came to put on a show," and he did. He put on a show at the end. I agree with you. They should not have gone with that call at the end. They should have gone on the 4th. But hey, sometimes you win, you lose some.
I'll be honest. Like if you look at it, like even if he makes it, there's still 54 seconds left in the clock. Probably like it was at 59 seconds when they decided to go for the kick, but. Yeah, there's just no way. And I have friends who like, middle school friends and elementary friends are like they're Patriot fans too, and they're like, man, imagine if the Patriots beat Brady. I'm just like, there's not that they couldn't because they could. I mean, it was clear like it was a close matchup. Like they could be touchdown. They could have won, but the fact is that the game isn't over against Brady until the clock hits 0. It doesn't matter. Falcons know this. Colts know this. Anybody that's played against Tom Brady knows this. Patrick Mahomes knows this. My son in tears knows this.
Knows it.
Like, until the clock hits 0, it doesn't matter. You cannot believe it's over. I mean, look at the last few weeks. Just last week, Aaron Rodgers was thought that they couldn't beat the freaking Niners in 30-something seconds. Freaking Derek Carr with that freaking crazy comeback against the Ravens, to make it force overtime. They didn't think they could do it. So it's football, guys. Anything could happen when you got the right minds, you got the right person at the helm. Anything can happen. And it's Tom Brady.
Aaron Rodgers did it against the 49ers too. You said that, I believe. Yep. I don't know if you said that, but
I did. I know. Julian's out here crying. Julian, chill. Go to your room.
But yes, no, it was a good game, and it's not that they cannot beat them. I also feel there was a little bit of respect from Belichick to say, you know what, I'm gonna let him win right now. But if we come back to a showdown, I will beat him. I'm gonna give him the respect because he knows what Brady can do. It was Brady's day, so I feel like if the Patriots would have been Brady, it would have been. I don't think it would have been the same.
No, it had. I mean, maybe, but it. Trust me, every Patriots fans was out there for Patriots. As much as you love Brady, as much as you wear 12, as much as you love him and everything, you respect him, you thank him for everything he did. The second the freaking game started, he's the enemy.
Oh yeah, it was boo.
And you gotta boo him. You gotta boo him every chance you get, and you gotta boo him and hope that he loses. And when you cheer hard when he gets sacked, and look, he got emotional. There's no doubt about it. He did not play his best. This is not Tom Brady-esque. This is not Tom Brady the GOAT. This is Brady and his emotion, and he's not going to be like that again. I guarantee you that. He's going to win more games. He's going to lose some games. He's going to win more games that are not going to be with this, emotion holding him back. Now that he's let that go, now that he's gotten the win over Belichick, and he'll never have to play Belichick again unless somehow the Patriots make it to the Super Bowl and so do the Bucs. He'll never have to go to Gillette Stadium. He'll never have to play Belichick again. And this is it. He got his win over. He's the fourth player to ever beat all 32 teams. It's done. So that's week 4, guys. Right now, we're still in the middle of Raiders versus Chargers, but Chargers looking good. As expected, I have them beating the Raiders. And I'm not saying the Raiders are pretenders. Actually, I think they're actually becoming more of a contender. They're taking pretty much the spot where I think the Patriots will be in the playoffs, but we'll see. There's still a long season to go. After this week, there's still 14 more weeks of football. Thank God. And we get to enjoy more of it. Let's quickly transition over to something that we could have talked about last week, but we didn't get the chance to. UFC 266. You came over. Mike came over. Marco came over. My brother-in-law came over. We're all celebrating my wife's birthday. At the same time, we're watching some good-ass fights. Overall, let's give it up onto the main event where we had Brian Ortega challenging Alexander Volkanovski for the UFC Featherweight Championship. That went down. What were your thoughts on the fight? I know you had Brian Ortega, so let's just put it out there right now. What are your thoughts on what happened in the fight and post-fight?
No, so the reason why I went with Ortega was not because I'm saying Volk it's a bad fighter or no. Hey, don't get me wrong. Like he's a great sportsman. He's a great fighter. He's a great athlete.
Yeah.
I just you know me. I like to call some of the upsets. I like to go against it just to make things fun, make a little bit of conversation on that. It's not that I'm stupid or anything, but it's like, all right, let's actually have a conversation. Let's discuss something. Why could this happen or not?
Yeah.
I wanted Ortega to win just because of watching The Ultimate Fighter. I saw the whole season.
Mm-hmm.
When the championship happened, like the 2 fights, Ortega's team didn't make it. They lost. And one of them was because the guy had a torn meniscus. I believe that's what it was on the final. And I believe he would have won that heavyweight. So I wanted Ortega to kind of, like, hey, this is my pride. Let me reclaim some of that glory for my team and show them that hey, we are winners after all. And we were able to beat the other coach.
Yeah.
The fight was great. There were 2 instances that we both thought that, hey, that's it. It's over.
Honestly, there's a third one. There's a third one, but yeah, go on.
That choke, that triangle, like he was done. Like he did not want to get off the mat. If his corner did not pick him up, I think they would have called the fight. But the fact that after he won the whole round, he still got up, said thank you to that guy, and said, you know what, you're a badass you're a bad motherfucker for doing what you did. And Volk acknowledged that, saying, the way that Ortega's face was and the reason that he kept fighting through that after almost beating him, I remember it twice. You say it 3 times, but Volk said, "You know what? Like, hey, this could have ended. I could have been. I was
over.
done. Yeah,
it could have been over."
So it was a great fight, and he showed to his team from the Ultimate Fighter, hey, we lose, but we get back up and we keep fighting, which I think that was a good thing, and that's what made it a great fight. That they both had respect at the end of the game. They both had respect for each other.
I scored the fight 4-1, Volkanovski. I didn't think it was, it wasn't even for me like any question mark. The third round is the best round I've seen in a long time. Like as far as like you calling it an individual round, the third round was fantastic. First of all, Ortega drops Volkanovski with a nice left. Like it's like short hook. He just gets him right there. Boom, drops him. Then instantly goes on the full mount, gets that guillotine. Now at first he's too high, but then he adjusts his body just right, gets the guillotine in there, and man, Volk is purple. Volk is purple. He is in trouble. He is disgustingly in trouble. But somehow, some way, he is able to take advantage of it. And I'm not just expert. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm a black belt, I'm a mastermind and all this shit, but just to wear it all, to like, I personally, when I've been in like, MMA little scrimmages and shit like that, like if you get a guillotine and you're on the top mount, you're not at a great advantage. I'll be honest. Yeah. As great as that was, it's not the best advantage, especially since you can't really lean back too much because he's trying to pull back too, and then he's also tall. Ortega's fucking tall. Or at least his body is long. He's not like he's only 2-3 inches bigger than Volkanovski, and he looked big. He looked long, like a fucking what is it called? I was gonna say Twizzler, but that doesn't seem right. Some stupid candy. Anyways, Ortega is able to like shimmy his way out and just get his neck loose. Maybe Ortega's arms were just tired. He just couldn't hang on, and boom, he escapes. I just didn't think it was a great position, but he had him in there. And then Volk is just teeing him off, beating him up. And then he sinks in the triangle. Ortega gets him in there, and you said it. You said it. You see the eyes just looking at Ortega, just saying, "You got me, but I'm not gonna quit. I'm gonna get out of this, and I'm gonna fuck you up." Yeah. And that's exactly what happens. And then he goes and pretty much breaks his orbital. At one point, Ortega goes for a freaking Darce choke as well, but freaking Volkanovski's body's on top of him, so he can't really like do much there either. So it's just, and then Volkanovski, bro, like just, Marco will say because he's big on Ortega, he loves Ortega, and he hates Volk because he beat Holloway twice, and he's like, well, there's no way, that was Ortega's round. I'm like, sir, no. First of all, no. That's not Ortega's round. First of all, this man, the champion, escaped twice. 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. And he was the one left standing at the end of the round. And he actually walked to his corner. He broke Ortega's orbital, and Ortega's just lying dead. Just can't get up anymore. He's exhausted. He's done. And his whole team has to like just lift him and throw him up onto the chair. Like, all right, you still got it, kid. And man, it's almost a reminiscence of when Holloway destroyed Ortega. Like, he's gonna like the doctor's back in there in between rounds, and he's just looking at him. It's like, are you sure you can continue? The ref, Herb Dean, is like, how many fingers am I holding up? How many fingers am I holding up? How many fingers? And just reminiscence of that when he fought Holloway and he lost due to doctor stoppage. But man, what tough fighter is Volkanovski? Like, he's got a big head, man. You can't fucking beat that guy. He's got a big head. Like, he's just little body, big head. Like, he's just Megamind out there just fucking you up. And he just looked good, man. He teed off on Ortega. Ortega's face wasn't as badly as it was when he got beat by Holloway, but he teed off on him, and it was nice. And I give Ortega the 5th round, but I mean, honestly, at that point, who cares? He was. I don't think Volk was in danger. I think Volk was still feeling good. He'll probably go another 2 more rounds, but it is what it is. I think that was a fantastic main event. It was fun. You and Marco made a bet against me and Mike, and now y'all have to eat some spicy ramen.
Yes, sir.
On some
looking forward to
future podcast. Yeah, for sure. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. Co-main event: Valentina Shevchenko versus Lauren Murphy. Let's move on to the third fight. There's really not much to say. Lauren Murphy hit 11 significant strikes. There's really nothing to say. she had nothing for Valentina, nothing. So we can just honestly just move on. Like, no disrespect to Lauren. Yeah, she got paid. And you know what? Give Valentina Amanda Nunes after Amanda Nunes defeats Juliana Pena. Let's see that trilogy. Yes, I don't give a fuck if Amanda Nunes is 2-0 against her. Give us that trilogy. That's gonna be a fight. And then let them right off into the sunset. Both of them retired. That's the best women ever. Robbie Lawler, Nick Diaz. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you go.
Let's just say he thought he was playing football and he thought he was Ezekiel Elliott. Or actually, you know who he thought? He thought he was.
It's Pele.
No. He thought that he was. What's that guy's from the Bengals? 8-5. Whenever he jumps into the end zone and makes that freaking flip, that's what he thought he was doing. The fact that he did some crazy ass roundhouse flip kick, like to see if he landed it, I was like, what the heck? That was like, what the hell are you doing,
bro? It took him 2 months to get on the ground.
Every hit that he was like trying to hit with the knee, it was just like, It was like, all right, I'm out of shape. Let me kick it. I'm out of shape. It was not a bad fight, but it was not a good fight.
It was a nice scrap. But man, the second that he came out with that spinning wheel kick, I mean, my word, the decision making. He saw Jorge Masvidal destroy Ben Askren in 7 seconds and said, "You know what would be really cool, Nate? You know what would be really cool for me to do? I'm fast as fuck. I'm fast as fuck, boy. I am going to go out there and do a spinning kick and get paid, and it's my night. And that's it. That's my only game plan. That's it. My only game plan." And he thought that, man, he could do that spin wheel kick in like less than a second, because it took him like 5 seconds to finally hit.
I wonder if his corner knew that he was going to do that. I wonder if they bet on it and saying, "Hey, I'm going to go in there and do this." And I bet
that they thought he was going to do something crazy, but they didn't think it would be a fucking kick. Like, it's not as, bad as this, spinning back fist from hell, or God, it's just god awful decision. Just awful.
Both fighters just look bad.
They look old, man. They hadn't fought each other since what, like, I'll say in like 2004. Like, that's the last time they fought each other, where Nick Diaz finished Robbie Lawler. Look, I mean, Robbie Lawler's coming off a bad losing streak, and now he needed a win. He got it. It was a good win for him. But I'll be honest with you, I think Nick Diaz folded. I think he just said, "You know what? I got hit with this nice uppercut, but I'm just gonna quit."
No, he did. He did. His nose was broken. He was like, "I'm done. I got my nose broken. I don't need anything else broken."
It made no sense. I didn't understand that. I was like, bro, you're not even done. Like, he wasn't done. His eyes were like all clear. He was good. And he's just, like, yeah, I'm not going to keep fighting for this. He has some beef with the UFC, because if you look at a picture of him in May, he's in really good shape. Like, triathlon Nick Diaz, I think fantastic. And then skinny fat boy Nick decided to show up instead of Friday night. And that was just not good. And the fact that they switched it from 170 to 185 within the week showed you that something was wrong already. And then just the way he looked, I mean, no. Honestly, then the other fights, we had Curtis Blades beat Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Boring heavyweight fight. And then a good fight to start is Jessica Andrade destroyed Cynthia Calvillo. I mean, it was just a fun destruction to start the night. Mm-hmm. We had a good night. Me, you, the guys, my wife, and her friends. Everyone had a good night, fun time. Overall, and just to close it out, because I wanted to talk about last week, and we could do it now. Kyrie Irving, Andrew Wiggins, Jonathan Isaac, all these guys that are not vaccinated are anti-vaxxers. Well, Andrew Wiggins just got fully vaccinated, but the fact that some of these players are playing in cities where they're not going to be able to play home games. So a question I had for you, I had for Mike, I had for everybody. And should they be traded? Like, they're hurting the team more than anything. You're missing half the games already.
For Kyrie Irving, in that sense, if we just pick that player,
Okay.
We've seen him. He's a good player. He's a
Fantastic
great
player. He's
player.
a fantastic player.
But it just seems that every time that there's some type of controversy, he just sits out, and he's done it his whole career. So to me, it's not that he's a great, awesome player. It's like, okay, now you're a liability to the player. So we're paying you millions and billions of dollars for you to throw a tantrum on the side of the and not play.
Fields.
Like, all
Yeah.
right, cool, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now, vaccine wise, I have friends that are vaccinated. I have friends that are not. And some of the things that we always get into it is, like, hey, should you be vaccinated? Should you not be vaccinated? But at the same time, it's like I believe it's the person's choice to get vaccinated or not. I don't think that it should be pushed down their throats of the players. Now, I understand that is for the safety of the players that you're vaccinated. We saw with the Broncos, and Luck just saying, I don't care. The NFL's fining if you're make your whole team lose a game or for something. Like, I understand there's those things that there's going to be consequences behind it. But now, I mean, Wiggins, he tried to say, oh, it's a religious thing that I'm not supposed to get vaccinated. Okay, now you're just putting excuses on it. Like, if you're putting excuses towards something like that, then hey, you know what? Just leave, stop playing. You don't take your job seriously. Yeah. But if it's something like, okay, medically I shouldn't or I can or whatever, like for whatever reason, then hey, you know what? That's your own mind, that's your own thought, whatever you want to do. But at the end of the day, it just seems that it's not like that. It seems that these people that are getting paid hundreds and millions and thousands of dollars, man, it's like I'm gonna go against it. I'm gonna go against what people say. So to me, it's like, all right, that's a liability, man. Like, you don't want to play, like, leave. I'll find someone else who wants to play.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look, Kyrie is a fantastic player. I think he's top 5, PG point guard whenever he's out on the court healthy, along with Steph, Damian, other names I'm not mentioning right now, top of my head. But he's such a liability right now. He has his own thing, which he truly, fully believes in. And look, if you got to do your thing, go do your thing. But don't be holding back others for your mission for what you don't think. Like, if you don't feel like you need to play basketball at times, then why are you here holding up a spot for someone else? Why are you holding back guys? Like, look, I know you have mad love for KD. That's your brother right now. That's the guy who you and him talked to. Y'all joined the Nets together. But come on, man. Like, you're not gonna do this for him. You're not gonna do this for.
He's played more games than him.
Yeah, bro. And he came off an Achilles. And we're talking about just general, like, Andrew Wiggins, you can't be doing that, bro. You can't be using religion as like excuse not to get vaccinated, bro. Like, you got a mission. Like, you either playing for the Warriors or you're not. And if you're not playing for the Warriors, request for trade. You don't want to get vaccinated, just do it. You can go play Golden State as a visitor and you're cleared. You're good to go. Ask for a trade, bro. If you don't, like, it's just silly. Like, I get it. Like, you have your own personal decisions. Like, if you don't want to get vaccinated, cool. I'm not gonna force you. But don't hold but in cases like this where it's your job and stuff like that, don't hold them back for your needs. Like, be like, you know what, y'all, we can't agree because the city doesn't agree or the facility doesn't agree. Send me somewhere else. So I'm not holding you back. That's about it. I'm gonna go. So I mean, it is what it is. Bruce, chill out, bro. We were gonna get to your comment in just a bit, but we're on a different topic right now. Don't worry, baby girl. We got you. You're just crying right here. Oh, he just wanted to know. We definitely got to stop letting dudes walk out of the cage weeping. These unacceptable beta shit there should be a rule. If you're gonna walk out to the cage crying, fight is called off. Everyone's emotional, man. I mean, if you're gonna go out there crying, he's got a point. Like, you don't want to be going out there like completely distressed and emotional out, but it is what it is. But yeah, I don't know about that. But thanks, Bruce. Thanks for your comment. Stupid. Out here freaking dog crying because he didn't get his comment out there. Shut the fuck up. Anyways, but going on back to what we were discussing. Yeah, man. I mean, just I get it. Not everyone wants to get vaccinated. It's understandable. We're not. You think you need to become a researcher and all this other stuff, and that's cool, man. If you gotta be like, that's cool, man. Like, but don't hold people back. It's as simple as that, right?
Yeah. No, man, and it cracks me up, man, a lot because I know we're getting political, we're getting on that choice, but it's kind of funny. A lot of the people that have been saying that is from one side of the spectrum, but then again, when it comes back to them saying, "Oh, you know what, you can't do this," it's like, "Oh, well, it's my body, my choice." It's like, all right, dude, like you're arguing for something, but you're arguing against it. So it's like, all right, you don't know where you're kind of at, and that's how I feel about these players. They're promoting all these like political movements and say, yes, like the Black Lives Matters, yes, we pro-choice, blah blah blah, all this stuff. But then when it comes to doing what's best for your team, it's like, oh no, I don't want to do it. Don't hold me against it. Don't hold me for it. Like that's where it's kind of like, all right, so what do you believe in? Is it just you're promoting for money? That it's like, hey, yeah, Black Lives Matter, I'm getting money out of it. Like, hey, like that's kind of messed up because you're using a movement. Promoting for money. It's like, hey, yeah. Hey, what's up, man? I'm hearing myself on YouTube now.
My bad. Just making sure we're all good there.
It just feels like you're using the promotion of political movements and political welfare for your benefit. But when it comes for the benefit of your team, you take the step back. Yeah. So I don't know, man. To me, it's like, all right, if you're not going to be good for my team, like I said, hey, you're out. We've seen it with the NFL. Like the NFL does, like, hey, you know what? You don't want to go against the rules. All right, you're out. I mean, we've seen it with Deshaun Watson. He's not playing.
So, and they haven't even officially suspended him.
Exactly.
Like, they're just like Houston's just holding him back. Plus, he doesn't want to play for Houston. So, like the second that he starts, something goes off, like he's just gonna, we don't know what's gonna happen. But I'm pretty sure eventually, when someone's gonna start playing him, he's gonna get suspended, like for whatever reason. But you never know, actually, because Richard Sherman is playing. He just played for the Bucks, and he didn't get suspended. So we'll see.
But he did plead guilty. He said, you know what, I'm guilty. I'm really sad about what I did. I was not in the best state of mind. I haven't played football. That's what keeps me motivated. All the workouts, all the being inside the team. Hey, that's understandable. I'm not saying, hey, go ahead and break into someone else's house, but he knows what he did wrong. I'm not saying, and I'm not stating that Deshaun Watson did not do something wrong or right. We don't know because that's up to the massage parlor where he's getting the problem from. So he might be saying the truth, and it's just the Houston saying that we don't believe you. So, but no, man. Overall, I think if you're not worth it, if you're not going to be a team player, then what are you even doing there?
All right, of course, man. But it is what it is. I mean, hopefully these guys realize, like, hey, like we gotta play for our guys. We'll switch gears when we can. But for now, it is what it is, man. I mean, just God, it's gonna be crazy. I can't wait.
To keep it interesting, man. What are your predictions for this week, NFL? Let's leave something juicy for people to hear about, so we can talk about it next time.
Ooh, okay. So let's see. All right, Rams Seahawks to start off Thursday Night Football. What do you got?
Rams.
It's in Seattle. Short week.
I got the Rams.
I want to say Seahawks. Short week. Week. I'm going to see out. Jets versus Falcons in Atlanta.
The Jets are going to win it again.
I'll say Falcons. Yeah. I'll think Falcons.
Falcons are going to win it. I'm with the Falcons on that one.
Packers at Bengals. Packers at Bengals.
Pats.
Agree. Lions at Vikings.
I think the Vikings get greedy and the Lions get the first win.
Vikings win, in my opinion. Broncos at Steelers.
I think the Broncos win this one.
Steelers. They're at home. They need a win at home after losing the first two. I think I'm going to give them Steelers on that one. Dolphins at Buccaneers.
The Bucks.
Yeah, Bucks. Saints at Washington.
Washington.
Yeah, I'll agree. I'll say Washington on that one. Eagles at Panthers.
Panthers.
Agree. I think they'll play better than they. I mean, not like they played bad. I think they'll just.
It's going to be a shootout, but I think the Panthers defense wins it.
Titans at Jaguars. Is Urban Meyer finally get a win?
I think they do. Ooh. It's going to be a shootout. I think the Jags are going to take this win. I think they're going to run over the Titans.
It really depends. Well, I don't know, Run. It really depends on AJ Brown and Julio's health. Apparently,
They're not going to play this game.
You don't think
they're
so?
out for 2 weeks now. They already said they were going to be out 2 weeks.
I'm gonna say Titans. I'm gonna say Titans. It's tough to bet on the Jaguars. Patriots at Texans.
Pets.
Yeah, same. Agree. Bears at Raiders.
I think the Bears take this one, but it's going to be close. I think it's going to be like a last minute thing.
They're in Vegas. I think Bears. Fucking Nagy said again that QB1 is Andy Dalton if he's healthy. I'm going to go with Raiders. Browns at Chargers.
The Browns.
I'm going to go with Chargers on that one. I think Chargers are the better team overall, but you never know. I think they got the better quarterback. I'll say that. But the defense of the Browns is just dangerous. Giants at Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Agree. Giants. Rest in peace. 49ers at Cardinals.
I want the 49ers to win. So I'm going to go with that one.
It's in Arizona. Cardinals on a high.
They're going to get cocky.
I'm going to get Niners. Yeah, I'm going to go with Niners too. I don't know if they Cardinals start 5-0. Bills at Chiefs.
I think the Bills win it. I think it's going to be a shootout, but I think the Bills defense has been playing better than the Chiefs. So I think the Bills are going to make a little bit more stops. The Bills have the weapons, and Josh Allen has been spreading that ball around. So I think they do get it.
I'm going to give it Chiefs, and it's at home. It's in Kansas City, and I'm not saying they can't lose there, but I think it's a better opportunity there for the Chiefs to win. There could also be a psychological battle for the Bills. They're trying to redeem themselves after last year's loss beatdown from the Chiefs. So they might not play the same. So I'm going to go ahead and give the Chiefs a W on that. And then Colts, Ravens for Monday Night Football.
I want to say the Ravens.
Ravens, okay. Against the Colts, you got Carson Wentz. Yeah, I'm going to say Ravens. I mean, honestly, it could be an easy, even battle because, like I said, man, Ravens are hurting right now. We don't know what's going on with them, honestly. But
it's Wentz.
Yeah, it's Wentz. It's just you can't bet on Wentz, and that's really what it is. I mean, I hate it, but it is what it is. There. All right, Art, you got any final plugs or anything you want to say before we close out?
Yeah, man. If you guys want to reach out to me, you guys can reach out at BeachBumAI on Instagram. Yet again, we're playing fantasy football right now. I'm about to get my yearly win against the commish.
You already beat me. I don't even know what we're talking about. You already beat me. I don't know what we're talking about. I tell you, like every year, we play somehow week 4 every freaking year, and you always beat me. So it's just stupid the fact that you thought you were going to lose, and I was like,
I was projected to lose.
So. Yeah, and I knew I wasn't going to win, and clearly that happened. I mean, so like fucking Darren Waller got hurt, so that wasn't going to happen. But anyways, guys, follow the podcast where to follow it on Instagram, on Twitter. Follow the podcast at Puro Pizza Sports Podcast on Instagram. Follow the podcast at Pizza Sports Pod on Twitter. You follow me on the graphic below. It tells you where you can follow me. I don't want to say it's too much. It's too much, guys. For Art, for myself, we are Puro Pizza Sports, and we are out.